Ramachandra from the NR Hour Sports Show. This is big episode 800 for the show, alongside with Vedant Gupta from his show, Global Kid Media. And we're joined by a really special guest. His name is Matt Garza. He's a former MLB pitcher. He pitched for the Twins, Rays, Cubs, Rangers, and Brewers. He also pitched a no-hitter in 2010, July 26th, and he's the ALCS MVP. Thank you for joining the show. It's truly an honor, Matt. And obviously, where are you guys located right now, and how are you and your family doing?
Appreciate your time. Appreciate having me. We're located in Fresno, California, and my family's doing great. Doing the best we can, and we, this year is learning how to adapt to our environment the best we can. And my kids all have done a great job adapting to the time, and we're just happy that things are getting back to some sort of normalcy again.
Nice. So I'm gonna let Vedant start off here first.
Yeah, first of all, I find it interesting. Your no-hitter was against Detroit, which is where I'm located. We had a no-hitter with the Tigers last week. The day after, Nathan's Yankees had a no-hitter. So I feel like we're kind of honoring you there with the no-hitters. First and foremost, take me back to when you were a kid. What were your dreams? What were the things that you wanted to do maybe 15, 20 years from that point?
So when I was a kid, I just wanted to, I was very active. My parents had me very active in sport, played numerous instruments. Winter baseball camp, and I was first exposed to the concept of being drafted out of high school. And at that point, I made that my mission to be drafted out of high school. And my backup plan was to become a civil engineer. So it was every night I dreamt of being drafted and playing in a big league stadium and being in big league situations. And it was really cool the moment that I stepped on the field that those dreams were a reality. So and I can swear to you, every night it was the same dream. 3-2 count, bottom of the ninth. You're on the mound, and give me the rock. Let's go. It was a real vivid lights, cameras, everything. It was really cool when, like I said, when that became a reality for me.
Yeah. So this is a two-part question here. So did you have any role models growing up in the Major League Baseball? Who did you look up to in MLB? And take me back to your draft experience and what was that like? And you got drafted by the Twins, obviously, and they gave you the first opportunity to start your career.
Yeah, it was. So my role models weren't really baseball players. My dad was a huge role model of mine. He served in the military for over 30 years and kept us on a tight ship. And he was the one who was very, very adamant in us being busy. Idle hands lead to dangerous things, and that whole saying holds true to this day. And just his type of discipline and strict regimen kept us out of the streets, and which is I hate to say, wasn't fortunate enough for a lot of my friends I grew up with, and to this day it's still ingrained in getting up early, getting your work done, and enjoying the rest of the day with the family, but working hard and getting up and doing it the next day. My draft experience, it was unique, being a father at the time. Still, being a father early in my life. My priorities changed once I got to college, and it was about getting to the point where I can put myself in the best possible position to not only succeed, but to ensure the financial safety and security of my girlfriend at the time, now my wife, and our son, and then our daughter who was on the way. Mm-hmm. So when I was drafted on June 7th, it was an exhilarating moment. I didn't even want to watch it because, when I was drafted, we had internet, but it was dial up.
Yeah.
So the 22nd to the 27th pick were all crammed into, those type of sounds. So it was for about 45 seconds of my life. It felt like time stopped, you know. But it was truly a blessing, and I loved every minute of the adventure, man.
Yeah. First of all, thank you for your father for his service. That's big time.
Yeah, he was, like I said, he was a huge impact on mine and my brother's life, and really set the example of, working hard and allowing your perseverance and your determination to, really take hold and not be discouraged on the first failure, because you're going to experience a million more.
Mm-hmm.
It's about getting back up and getting back into the fight.
Yeah.
Obviously, you were raised right, and it seems like, of course, you're raising your kids the right way as well. I'm interested in the instruments for a second. Where did that passion come from? Is that something? Is that a skill you still have to this day?
I'm not sure. I haven't played a violin in a while, or a French horn, but I was, honestly, I was actually very good with it was a viola, not the violin. It's a little bigger because my arms were long as a fourth grader. So I was introduced to it at the school I was at. It was Manchester Gate. It was stood for Gifted and Talented Education. So we were exposed to that, not only music, but art, all forms: clay, pottery, watercolor, wax color, canvas painting, poetry. That school system. So it was kind of not pushed on us, but it was urged to take up this or choir. And I've heard myself in the shower, so I'm glad I chose the viola. But had a lot of fun. I played, the top groups, the honor jazz bands, and when I went to middle school, I didn't think it was tough to be a viola player, so I jumped to the French horn thinking, this is what tough guys played, and only knowing that this was a lot harder than the viola. But played in the top jazz bands and the honor bands, and my dad was a DJ as a side gig, so music has always been around us. And now my daughters, one of them plays the violin, the other one is trying to pick up the piano, and another one is trying to encourage me to get her some drums. So it's a pretty noisy household, to say the least.
Yeah. So I want to ask you, describe the feeling when you got the call up from the Minnesota Twins, and when you made your debut with the Twins, and what was it like wearing that uniform and playing in front of those fans and Target not the new stadium, obviously the old stadium, but what was it like? Yeah.
It was the call was, I got the call at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I met the general manager at the time, Terry Ryan, in his hotel room, and I got the information that I was flying out to Detroit. It's 5:45 a.m. So called my wife and my kids and my parents and let them know. And that first day, I think I slept 30 minutes in 48 hours, and I was just running on fumes, but it was the first time you put on a jersey and you walk across the line and you see future Hall of Famers and Pudge Rodriguez, Maglio Ordonez, Jose Guillen, Justin Verlander, Kenny Rogers, Chad Cordero, and you just see all these names that you grew up watching and playing, or watching and just trying to emulate. And next thing you know, they're combatants. You're now battling them across the field. So it's really really cool moment. Wasn't really starstruck until I met Ken Griffey Jr. the first time. That was
Oh wow.
the real that was a real big league moment where it wasn't no longer a fan. You're like here, and that was really cool. I'm sorry, I don't know why somebody's calling me right now. But yeah, that was like one of the coolest moments in time is meeting Ken Griffey Jr. and acting like an 8-year-old, saying, "Bro, I had your shoes, man." But yeah, he was he was a kid. He was a kid, and it was just amazing to talk to him, and just how down to earth and humble and super cool dude. And when you meet guys like that, that were your heroes and idols, and you played their video game nonstop, and to see them and meet them, and then know and like they're really cool, just humble people. You know, these are Hall of Famers. It just made you feel like, dude, this is where you just get to be yourself and
Right.
play baseball and have fun and not, there's no actors. It's just be a baseball player and just show your love for the game. And that's what he brought to me as a baseball player, was he let us show your attitude and your your machismo out there with the backwards hat or the hat tilt and the Griffey swag. So I truly believe he started the whole era we're in on letting your passion show out. And it's been a lot of fun doing that and watching the way the game's grown. So it's been really cool.
Yeah, you're obviously super dad through this whole process. One person, I don't know how much you keep up with the NBA, but one person I've talked to is Xavier Tillman, who plays for the Grizzlies. And at Michigan State, he had a kid, he had a family, he had to do that. You were in the same boat. I mean, you've got to enjoy the game. You've got school at Fresno State, not to mention the fact that the first 2 years, obviously you struggled a little bit before that breakout third year.
How
did you mentally manage it?
It was hard. My first year, it was extremely difficult. It got to the point where you realize that you're not the best anymore, and you're just another grinder. And when you're in high school and you're the best, and you go to this D1 school where I was literally thrown to the wolves, and it was what I asked for. I never asked to not pitch. I always asked whether it was I was getting my face kicked in or I was having success. Let me get the ball, get me out there, let me get out there. My freshman year was extremely hard adapting to all aspects of life, fatherhood, college athlete, and then still being able to have time for yourself to where you can mentally, de-stress or mentally unplug. And that's what college is about, is learning how to adjust and deal with all the crap around you. And I had a breaking point, and I went in and to my pitching coach and was debating on quitting, and just told him, man, I think I'm just gonna be an engineer, dude. Like, this is hard. I've never been this bad, and I just don't know if I can keep going. So it's I love baseball because it finds the most unique and weirdest times to put you in check, to humble you, to make you feel even less than human, because it's a game of constant failure, and then that one little glimpse of success can be overshadowed by the next big fail, and it just helped me realize that I can fail at baseball, but all this other stuff I can't fail. And that's where it helped me realize that baseball was just the game. This was my mental spot to release and to de-stress. And as soon as I realized that, going into my sophomore year, I think the lights really clicked on, and I really started having a lot more fun playing baseball like I did in high school. And that from that point on, it really took off. And my home life was my home life. And when I got to the field, I'd leave the home life briefcase at the door and check into baseball life. That's kind of how I played it.
And that's good you didn't quit, because to be honest, you had I think you had a great career, man, and you kept going and you kept working hard. And I know you played for the Cubs too, Rangers and Brewers, but I want to get to your Tampa experience, because I think that's where you made your most mark. You were lights out. I'm a big Yankee fan, and we always struggle against Tampa for some reason. You guys always play us hard in the AL East, and for some reason the Yankees always have some kind of struggle against you guys. So what was it like playing in the AL East against us, the Red Sox, Orioles, Blue Jays, and obviously great.
Yeah, it was that was one of the best experiences, playing in the East, because you knew every night the lights were on, meaning that we were going to be on TV somewhere playing the Red Sox, the Rays, or the Yankees. Orioles at the time were a powerhouse with Brady Anderson, Miguel Cabrera. They had all Moises Alou, third baseman. What was his name? But they were stacked with Aubrey Huff, Kevin Millar.
Yeah.
No joke. Blue Jays had Vernon Wells, Shannon Stewart, Troy Gloss. The whole. So you knew every night you were on TV, and as young kids, that's what everybody shot for back then. There was no Instagram or social media to blow all you had was your opportunity on the mound to get that shiny light. So we as a group, being so young, we push each other to be better every time out. And every time out, eventually, it just became, kind of the way there is that everybody expects the best. We work for the best, and we'll find a way to get each other to be the best. And I think that that mantra, that style of thinking that was created in that locker room or that clubhouse, with from Troy Percival down, Joe Madden, Andrew Friedman, Stu Sternberg, Matt Silva, they all bought in, and everyone was on the same boat. And it was just, let's set the tone and do this, push each other every time.
Second baseman, number 28.
Just a follow-up to that. As a Yankee fan, I always said to myself, the one pitcher we cannot face is Matt Garza. He had some of the nastiest pitches too. And but like for you though, this seems like a stupid question, but for you, do you know the reason why you guys always compete hard against the Yankees, and when it comes to when it comes to playing them?
Yeah, because it's the Yankees.
Yeah.
That's one word answer right there. It's the Yankees. It's everybody. Why you play better? Because it's the Yankees. Back then the Yankees were Jeter, A-Rod, Teixeira, who else? Cano, Posada, man, all future Hall of Famers. So it was you always need to step up your game here because you don't want to be someone's milestone.
Okay, so that's the Yankees, but what made you wake up and say, let me penalize Detroit today? Like, can you explain what that's all about?
Hey, it was just that day the stars all lined up, man. Really can't explain that. I didn't have my best stuff. I didn't have a lot of punch outs. It was, it's just one of those days where you just, I'm getting out. Let's keep doing it.
Yeah.
And they added up to 27 and it was over. It was like, oh, crap. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. A lot of, one of those moments in time where you don't know, you really don't have a sense of what's going on. You're just in a zone and it's a haze and you get out of it. You're like, oh, what the heck? So it was, I kind of got out of my haze about the eighth inning and, I'm looking up and talking to Price, David, who wasn't really speaking with me, because of what was going on. And just like, hey, be quiet, focus. And, eighth inning pops around. I looked at him and said, I hope I don't screw this up, and ran out there. But yeah, I was fortunate. My guys made some great plays that night, really saved the game for me. Longoria, Crawford, and Zobrist. And every time there's a no hitter, there's always three amazing great plays that saved that game. So my teammates, Scherzer and I were in a no-hit battle till I think the sixth inning. And
sixth. Yeah.
Matt Joyce popped it open for us and gave us the breathing room we needed, and thank goodness their bats weren't lining up that day, and I had those lucky stars, man.
Yeah, so like speaking of that no-hitter, obviously Max Scherzer is one of the best pitchers right now in baseball still with the Nationals, and man, what was it like going against him face to face? And take me back to that moment. When did you start realizing that okay, I want this could happen, the no-hitter? What inning did you realize? Yeah. So take me back to that. And what was it like, the feeling like after that, and to be able to do it at home also?
It was amazing. It was one of those true team moments.
The shortstop, number 2.
I can have done it by myself. I did punch out 27 guys, and I relied heavily on Kelly Shopik to help me through some of those moments. And like I said, I really didn't come out of that brain fog until the eighth inning. It was almost over. And, oh man. And the moment it happened, it was one of the greatest moments to share with your teammates because it was a team win. It wasn't, like I said, it wasn't a solo win. Yeah, I threw the no-hitter, but like I said, there was guys who played positions who were in steps where they shouldn't have been, and plays were just right at them. So it was an awesome moment, man.
Your MLB career was kind of like Fresno. You worked your way up to the top. Again, I'm going to ask kind of that similar question. Who are the guys along the way that helped you develop as a man opposed to a baseball player and help you become a better person?
I was real fortunate to be brought up in the Twins organization, and they are very they're very youth development driven, so they rely on the
Center
veterans to
fielder,
teach
number 6, Alex Hyder.
the rookies on how to act, how to hold yourself. And I got to the big leagues, I think, at 22 years old. So, I was still a kid, and they helped me to become a big league in terms of how to carry myself, how to dress, the standards and what it took to, you're not just a baseball player, you're somebody's role model, somebody's looking at you, all eyes are always on you. And back then, like I said, we weren't social media people. It wasn't available or created, so we were taught to be very private, so that we could enjoy, meals or outings with our family and not be fan hounded. So, this whole social media vibe was a flip on the rest of us 10 years later, going, wait, you told us not to do this, and now, it's a vibe. So, but the whole maintaining yourself and being, looking in the mirror and saying, am I somebody's role model, was a question we were having to ask ourselves every day. Are my actions something we want somebody to see and say, I want to be like that guy, was probably the strongest message that was thrown across my way.
Okay. So, take me to that playoff run you guys had in '08. Obviously, it didn't work out well in the World Series, but you were the ALCS MVP, and then also just take me back to the World Series run, and obviously you guys lost to the Phillies. But just explain how grateful are you that you were able to be part of the World Series?
That's one of the greatest memories and moments playing the game that I had, was that '08 run. We were just a bunch of kids having a good time playing baseball, to be 100% honest. We had, some vets to kind of just keep us, what do you call it, blinders on. And
yeah,
we're just a bunch of kids having fun, chasing wins. That's it. We just, hey, on to the next, chase those W's.
Yeah.
And, it was just a good time until we ran into that roadblock in Philly, and our bats went cold and the weather turned right. Everything was just not, helping us out. The temperature dropped 30 plus degrees, and it was raining for 5-6 straight days. And, but, the Philadelphia that year, they had a great team as well. And they were star-studded, man, with Jamie Moyer, Ryan Howard, Jason Worth, Chase Utley, J-Roll, Salvador Chooch behind the plate, Hamill, Moyer, who else was on the team? Kyle Kendrick, who was in Lidge was the bullpen guy.
Yeah.
They were stacked as well, man. Ryan Howard, I think, won MVP that year.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun going to get up against the best in my first full year, and the highest, most watched stage in all sports. So it was a lot of fun, man. We really, we had the loss suck, but as we were coming back, it hurt, but we kept telling ourselves, we're built for long term, fellas. We're built for long term. So.
Yeah, actually, the funny thing is that Kyle Kendrick is coming on the show next week.
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. Nothing against those guys, but I wish they would have lost.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I gotta know. Obviously, with COVID now, things are starting to open up, but especially the last few months, would you be able to play in that kind of game from where there's literally posters in the stands as opposed to people, or is that something that you always zoned out and never really affected you?
While playing in Tampa before we started winning, that's kind of what COVID was like for us. It was, 35,000 stadium, and we're drawing 1,500. So we really, I didn't play for the people in the stands. I played because I loved playing, and if people wanted to watch, then I must be doing a good job. And if people didn't want to watch, it was a testament to what I was doing. So I don't say I didn't pay attention to the fans, but when I played, they were the least of my concern. I need to do a job and get it done right. And the next day, I would sign and hang out with the fans and let them know I appreciate them. But when I was out there, my concern was getting the job done, because if you didn't, then you knew the fans were there when you got those boos.
So a couple more things before we let you go. So how great are you to be in this position, to play the game that you loved, and to throw a no-hitter, to be in the World Series, experience it, and to be ALCS MVP? How grateful are you to be in this position and have a great career?
I'm extremely grateful. I'm extremely blessed, and I'm extremely thankful that I had the support system. Especially my wife. We've been together for over 20 years, and we've been married going on 13. And just to have her and knowing that she had my back and handling home life with the 6 kids we have is truly the biggest blessing I had. Because if you can't control home life, I would never been able to play as long as I did and enjoy the career I had. But again, I'm really grateful. I'm really blessed to have my wife and my kids, and that's what really drove me to play as long as I did. Yeah, I love the game, but the drive to see their happiness and their joy while I took the field and left the field was what I really played for, man. So it was a true blessing, and anybody listening and take anything from this, chase your dreams with a passion. Don't sell yourself short, because you never know. All it takes is one instant, one moment in time for that one person to see you, and that can be the next chapter in your life. So enjoy every moment, push yourself to the limits, and follow your passions with conviction and determination, and you'll never be disappointed.
The amazing thing is, of course, you had your kids and family with you along the entire way, which is something that's, of course, special when your kids are old enough to enjoy some of those moments. How cool! I'll use the word again, super dad. Like there's no better feeling than when dad's.
Nah, it's more super mom with an assist.
For the Grizzlies, and he bought him
How special are those moments to be able to throw a no hitter, to go to the World Series, and then go back with your kids?
It was, those moments were cool, but my kids, they weren't too impressed with that. They're more impressed with, hey Dad, were we going to Disneyland this off season or what? So yeah, but they enjoyed the game. They enjoyed the fluffer side, the kid rooms, the nice flights home, the good family trips. They got to see Dad work, and like I said, I'm blessed and fortunate, and just really grateful that I was able to do the things I did. And again, it would never been able to do anything if I didn't have my wife supporting me the way she did.
So this is a 2-part question. So, what are your thoughts on so far this year on the 6 no hitters that's been here so far in the season, and also would you consider being a pitching coach down the line?
I still work with a lot of kids in town here in Fresno. Thinking about going into the junior college level soon, and pitching coaching. Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. My kids get older and they start their own careers, and definitely be something I'm open to, being as young as I am. And the no hitters now, you never want to talk bad about the game that gave you so much, but I think the strive for analytics and numerical statistical leads is starting to show its flaws. Mm-hmm. A lot of these hitters these young hitters aren't ready yet for the league, and a lot of these pitching plans are, they're built off what you do, down to how you tie your shoes. So these young guys aren't prepped for that type of in-depth look, and it's the same thing every time. Every kid's trying to hit a homer instead of get the guy to second or third, and leading to big swing and misses. And you do that with a lot of young hitters, and you get a guy who knows what he's doing up there. And, you start linking it up. You got Wade Miley, who was out of the league for 2 years, come back and having a renaissance, which is amazing. I'm happy for the guy, because you never want to see someone leave disappointed. And then you got young dudes who are throwing no hitters, and it's just, like I said, I think the game is going to catch up to itself, and you're going to have some you have these games where you got no hits, and you got games where guys are putting up touchdown scores.
Right.
So it's it'll average itself out, but I still watch games when I can, and I still have a lot of friends playing, and I just hope for all their successes and most of all of them to stay healthy and to enjoy this game like I did, and keep playing with the passion, because I think that's what the kids really love seeing is these guys playing with passion, not being dull and boring anymore.
Absolutely. I want to know, what other projects are you working on? What's next for you outside of the game? What do you want to do next?
Well, right now I have a raisin company, a raisin ranch. I own and started a cannabis company. We're working on getting a community park facility up and running that will serve baseball, basketball, soccer, and indoor volleyball as well.
Oh, wow.
In town, in Fresno. And then we have through my cannabis company, we started a charitable organization that does a lot of work with food drives and taking care of things that aren't seen or things that need to be taken care of here in town. We recently passed out 250 food boxes on our own during COVID in December. We have offered numerous student training, like offered young 15, 16-year-old kids working opportunities to learn auto body and auto repair. We have my partner's family and I have a auto body shop, and they do a lot of second chance opportunities and a lot of single family opportunities in terms of helping kids out who don't have a direction role or a role model in their life, whether the moms, dads are working, to provide. Families will let us know, and we'll try to see what we can do and help them out as well with their family. I was approached today about partnering up and building out some homeless encampments here in town, and just staying busy. My wife is she's a huge advocate for CASA out here. It's a corner pointed social advocates. We're huge with our church and our church charities, Catholic charities out in California. Our church, St. Jude's, we do a lot of work with them, and we just try to stay busy by helping anybody who can out. I train kids, at the on my time, no charge. I'll get people who know that I do what I do, and they'll send me some kids who have some talent but just need some direction, and we just not even to get too big, just more to be productive members and kind of gain confidence in themselves, because that's all kids need, is just confidence and a hope that they can succeed.
Yeah, so before we get to the last two things, what's it like to be the 800th episode?
Pardon?
What's it like to be the 800th episode for the show?
Oh, it's been an honor. I thank you guys. Thank you guys for having me, and I appreciate you guys for squeezing me in. Yeah.
So, in the last two things here, our team is part of this foundation called the Hugh Jackson Foundation. I'll send you the page so you can check it out. We're trying to help prevent human trafficking and making sure the community stays safe. So I'll send you.
That's huge. That's huge. My cannabis company is G7 Farms.
Yeah.
We're on Instagram at G7 Farms, and our apparel line is G7 Drip. And let me know, and I can give you guys a passcode to get some apparel.
Okay. And the last thing here, would you like to say anything to all the nurses, doctors, and essential workers?
Thank you guys very much for putting your lives on the line and putting the needs of others before your own. And you guys are truly, truly heroes in this fight we've had and we're currently in. again, can't thank you enough. And again, thank you guys so much. Words can't express the amount of gratitude we should be showing and people are showing. Thank you again. All the essential workers, not only doctors, medical staff, but field workers, grocery store workers, gas station attendants, anybody who had to work through this pandemic. Thank you so much for your sacrifice and doing the things nobody else wanted to do. Thank you so much.
Yeah, well said. And there it is. That wraps up big episode 800 for the show with former MLB pitcher Matt Garza. He threw a no-hitter on July 26, 2010. ALCS MVP was defeated in the World Series. And go follow him on all social media formats. He does a great job now. And keep up the great work, Matt. This was truly an honor. Thank you for coming on the show and being the 800th episode. And like I said, you and your family stay safe.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me again. Appreciate it. You guys are doing a great job. Keep spreading the word. And again, thank you. And send me that information on the human trafficking.
Yeah, thank you. I will.
You guys take care.
Yep.